Today's show is sponsored by Indie Film Hustle's Filmmaker Process. We provide filmmakers with professional services to get their films or series funded, finished, and distributed. For more information, go to filmmakerprocess.com. Your first movie with Suzanne, I think that was, according to IMDb at least, that's the first movie that got produced on, I think it's around the same year as Vacancy.
Yeah, I was actually bouncing back and forth between the Vacancy set and that set. So they were kind of shooting at the same time. So
but you were directing.
I went from nothing to everything.
But you were directing that one.
It was like, so I had no clue what I was doing. And Suzanne was so lovely to let me do that. I mean, of course, I would never tell them that. But it was like I was following Jeff Schaff, who was our DP, and Suzanne and Kate, and they were just kind of like, okay, yeah, you probably want to, you move the camera here, because I knew the story and I knew the performances I wanted to get into stuff. And the one thing that I realized bouncing from the Vacancy set to the Seance set was we're shooting 10, 12 pages a day on Seance. We're shooting half a page sometimes on Vacancy. It's like you have so much more time. Right. And so I had to I remember the actors, we would just rehearse on Seance, rehearse, because I knew I was only going to have time for like 2 or 3 takes. So we had to really do it quickly. And so yeah, it was a really wild year and a half or so on those two.
Now, what was the biggest lesson you learned working on Seance? Because that was kind of the first, you were thrown into the deep end of the pool. And I didn't know that you were jumping back and forth between Vacancy. You could actually see the difference in budget. In between Seance and Vacancy, because Vacancy was like,
I walk back into that stage on Seance and go, oh God, here we are.
It was just like, what? I had to bring my own lunch today, Suzanne. What the hell?
We did have. I used to run. This swear to God, there was a Carl's Jr. just around the corner from where, and I would run during breaks to get myself a Carl's Jr. sandwich, because it really was like that. And our crew was mostly film students from, I think it was the LA Film School. And so that was it. There was a point where we were trying to use a gurney and, a dolly, and we didn't have anybody that could do the dolly. So we couldn't do the shot.
You mean literally you had a dolly, but you had no dolly?
We had a dolly, but we couldn't have anybody do it. So Jeff, the DP, he's trying to figure out a way, and I'm there trying to do it, but we couldn't get anybody to work. We just didn't have enough people and enough stuff. And there was one day where I walked into the set and the stage, and I go into one of the bedrooms, the college bedrooms, which had been gray. And it was I wanted this kind of dark, kind of just a plain background. And one wall was yellow. The other was bright blue. The other was like red. It was like a rainbow of color. And I go, what the hell? What happened? And this guy goes, well, I just thought this was so great. It would make everything pop. And it was like, but no, we don't. And we're shooting now in like an hour. And so there's nothing that could be done. And so now everybody, some of the wardrobe were the same colors, so we're shooting them. It's like the girl's there with a blue shirt against the blue wall. It's like we're losing it. It's like, oh God, it's like, okay, move over to the yellow wall. It was just it was a learning experience for all of us, I think.
It's like you see those shots with people with green shirts over a green screen, and you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, guys?
Exactly. I know. It was so brutal, but it was fun. If nothing else, I learned that. It was weird. I never had time to be creative on directing. So I was talking to a director once years later, and it was like it becomes such a machine. You just have no time. So everything has to go so fast that whereas I can sit with a script and really kind of decide what I want to do and make choices and all of this, you're locked in. When you're on a set, you're locked in. That's it. And so you're kind of all your creative stuff comes prior.
To watch the rest of this interview, head over to bulletproofscreenwriting.tv.